Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Trainwell podcast. We're so excited, as always, to talk with you today. Now, last week we did an overrated, underrated, and you all love those, and they're fun for us too. So we're going to hit you with another one today. We have 5 more topics. We're going to do a quick overrated, underrated, and we'd love to hear what you think too. So don't hesitate to send us some comments. So, Joey, do you want to give me the first one, or do you want to?
No, I do. I am eating a hard-boiled egg here real quick. I do want to ask you what your favorite snacks are, maybe in a different I think we did that. But anyways, number 1 is social media fitness advice. I don't have any social media. So Dee, give us the take on that. Is it overrated or is it underrated?
Well, I think as always it depends, but in general, it's way overrated. Oh wait, is that right? Overrated. Yeah, it's overrated. Here's why. Because everyone on social media, fitness wise, that's a nice egg, Joey. He just showed me his egg. It's really nice. Ugh, God, he's going to spit everywhere now. Disgusting. God, he can't keep his food in his mouth. Anyway, luckily our listener doesn't have to listen to, or doesn't have to see you. Okay, so here's the thing. I think there is a lot of really smart, really talented fitness people on social media and who have done their schooling, gotten their certifications, and they probably know what they're talking about. And there's also a lot of people who just love to work out. They don't really have the background, and they're also going to tell you their opinions. And so it's kind of just figuring out, like, you got to kind of be like, who actually knows their stuff and who is just talking strictly from their own personal experience, which is fine. But you got to know that's their experience. It's not, a general fitness, advice that has been like studied. The other thing about social media fitness is it's flashy. It's trying to make you give it attention, so they're not going to show you that they're doing deadlifts every week and that they're doing their squats every week. They're going to show you like the crazy moves and like the flip over the bar and like the kettlebell in the air and like the circus act, which is like fun, but they're not doing that for the workouts. They're doing that for the gram, I don't even think people say the gram anymore, but that just shows you where I'm at with social media. What do you think, Joey?
I think a world without social media is like, think about the 90s. Anyone who grew up in the 90s, like, social media wasn't a thing, AI wasn't a thing. I just find social media, like, everyone's arguing and everyone's wasting time. I shouldn't say everyone, but there is some good stuff in there for sure. I always say trust, but confirm, right? So, like, trust at the source you're getting, but always confirm, like, what experiences do they have? How many people have they trained, specifically with fitness? How many people have they worked with themselves, right, to put them able to say that? The credibility is huge. So trust, but verify.
You want to hear something about the 90s? This was actually after the 90s. I was asking my oldest kid today if he knew what BRB meant, because I had to run upstairs and I said, okay, BRB. And he like didn't know what that meant. And I was like, let me tell you about when texting first came out. We were just only supposed to talk to each other in acronyms. We weren't even supposed to say words in texting. And now we all send each other paragraphs. I had to tell him BRB means be right back. Did you all know that, listener? Let us know if you knew what that meant.
First cell phone you had, mine was a Nokia. What'd you have?
Yeah, I think that was the only one that existed. It was like a Nokia, and and you could get like pretty sparkle cases. But the first one was just like this ugly green flip one. But then I got a cool sparkly pink case. Yeah, I do miss a flip
Snake on it. Did you play Snake on it?
Probably. I like really don't remember that very well, but man, was I quick, because you had to hit the button so many times to text. You had to hit like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. I was so fast at it. I was devastated when I didn't have to do that anymore, if I'm being honest.
All right, let's move on.
Okay, deload weeks. Deload weeks.
I think they're overrated. They're overrated for the average person. If you're severely out there competing, you need to use them all the time. Specifically, it just depends on your goals. Like, if you're a powerlifter, you're a strongman, like, deload weeks will save you. But for the average person, I hate to say this, but you're not training intense enough to need a deload week. Depending on that, I hate to say a blanket statement, but for most of us, right, you're gonna get sick on a week. You're going to have a work trip one week. You're going to have holidays, like your deload weeks are going to be built in throughout the calendar year. I don't think you really need to be like bragging about, man, bro, I need a deload week this week. Overrated for most people.
I think I would agree with that actually, because I do think if you are like training heavy, even if you're not competing or like an athlete, if you're training heavy most days of the week, every week, and you're on a program and you're progressively overloading, I could see like putting it, I don't necessarily think you need to deload every 4 weeks, but like I could see throwing it a deload every like 8 weeks or so, something along those lines. But yeah, I agree. We're just going to naturally, if you're just a normal person in the world, you're just going to have your deload weeks. We got this huge snowstorm coming. By the time this comes out, it will already have been here. We'll know what happened. But man, that could be end up being a deload week for a lot of people, because you're not going to be able to get to the gym, maybe.
Yeah, totally. Take it in stride. Depend. All these things depend. Anything in fitness depends. Okay. Uh, LISS. Do you give us a breakdown of what that is, and or for the members, and what overrated, underrated?
LISS, low intensity, steady state. Got it right. Nailed it. Low intensity, steady state. Yeah, great. Do it. Leisurely walk. Why not? Just get some activity. This is like your activity. This is just like your kind of getting in your steps. I see no reason not to do this. I actually think it's great to add in just like some extra movement during the day, keeps the body feeling fresh and agile. I think it's I never hear about this. Like, so I wouldn't say it's like overrated or underrated. There's like no hype around this. It's like the least hype thing
Disagree.
that could ever be.
Disagree.
What are
Everyone's
you
talking
hearing
about.
hype around?
Everyone's it's the same thing as zone two, right? Zone
Oh,
two and low
are they
intensity
saying?
steady state. Oh
Okay.
yeah, definitely. Uh,
I feel like LISS is even lower than zone two. This is just
No,
like so leisurely.
no, because
No?
like no, because like low intensity is like honestly between, it's hard to give you numbers, but usually between like 115, 120 beats a minute heart rate and like 130 beats a minute, depending on your
So
resting
it's
heart rate
not
level.
totally leisurely.
Right,
Okay.
exactly.
Maybe I misinterpreted.
So I think it's highly underrated because most people in our previous podcast, most people are doing moderate
Okay.
intensity and most people are doing high intensity. There is no buffer, and we know that most cardiac benefits, right? The longevity, that's a big hype word, right? They come from this lower intensity, longer duration, 30, 60, 90 minutes.
So like a hike. Go out for a hike.
Exactly. It's very hard to get your heart rate to like 110 just on flats. But yeah, go for a
Yeah.
hike, get outside, smell the fresh air, get the sun. So
I
good.
want that. I wish it wasn't as cold. Okay. Ugh, barbell lifts.
Ooh,
A lot of people don't
ooh.
want to touch a barbell.
Okay. And this goes to like, I always know if a trainer has experience with working with real people in the real world based on their prescription of barbell lifts. Because if I look at a program, for example, right, and it has barbell overhead press, like they're a power lifter, and this is like Grandma Betty or Circuit Sally or Executive Joe, right? Man, in their 30s, 40s, 50s, that's an immediate red flag. Why? Because the barbell is unforgiving. I think they're overrated. They're the best exercises for strength. Don't get me wrong. Even for hypertrophy, they have an argument. More muscle mass, compound movements, et cetera, et cetera. But a lot of people don't have the requirements, the prereqs to perform a good barbell deadlift from the floor, a good overhead press. There are much more joint friendly variations that you can do. So people do not get married to the barbell, but don't lose sight of strength.
I'm married to the barbell. I would not program this for everyone. I would not program barbell lifts for everyone, but I do usually hope that with many of my clients, not all, because I don't think it's right for everyone, but I do hope that for many of my clients, they will get there, that they will open their mind to it, that they feel like they're in a good place with their fitness. And I feel like they are, that we will get there because I do think they're just so beneficial. There's so much that you can do with a barbell. And it's such a great way to like load your skeleton. I just always start with the barbell. I just can't. I can't go into a gym. It's very hard for me to go into a gym and not start with the barbell. Um, so I don't underrated. I think barbells have a good rating as in general. I think they have a good rating, but I always try to encourage people when appropriate to start using barbells.
And Darren, you love the barbell. You're super mobile. You can get into good positions, right? It may not be the best for
When
somebody who's
appropriate.
inappropriate.
When appropriate.
When appropriate. Yes. I like all this. When appropriate. Okay.
Yeah.
Last one. This is a good one. Walk us through this. This is in the supplement realm, but protein shakes. Protein shakes. Are they overrated or are they underrated?
Well, you know what Joey's going to say because he licks his protein bottle clean afterwards.
I do.
I think they're overrated. I do. I have rarely have used protein powder myself personally. I've occasionally used it. I find now it's easy. My protein requirements aren't quite as high as other people's might be. I'm a very small person. So I have never felt like I needed to incorporate protein shake to get enough protein in. I've also felt that for me personally, it doesn't always sit great in my stomach.
Mm-hmm.
So like I feel like when you're in the fitness world, just like everyone's drinking protein shakes, and I just don't think everyone has to be drinking protein shakes to get enough protein and to get benefits. So yeah, I think overrated.
Wow, I agree. You know why I agree? Because they're just protein, right? It's just an extra source. Like get your ingredients from Whole Foods, right? One ingredient foods, salmon, beef, chicken, turkey, legumes, etc. I think protein shakes are good if if you're traveling, if you're in a pinch, if you are competing and you need that extra push, but man, they're not a saving grace, nor is any supplement. On that line, get your blood work done because that's the best indicator of what you're deficient in, and use that as your gold standard, not the Instagram reel or the Twitter thing. Use your blood work as the gold standard.
You know Joey's not on social because Twitter's not even a thing anymore.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's X.
X. I've never been on it either. That was fun. Another episode where we agree. I don't think did we disagree on any of those?
Yeah, the barbell list. I'm still kind of
Oh
flustered
yeah, the
about.
barbell list.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your favorite snack? I think the people need to know.
Oh man, fruit and nuts are mine, and I like making my own trail mix. Don't I don't know what you think about this, but peanuts, I think they're inflammatory for me. Oh yeah, by the way, protein shakes down the road, you're gonna have some gut issues, like if you constantly have a lot of them, especially as you get older. I found that with clients. But favorite snack, a custom made trail mix, some Brazil nuts, some pecans, some almonds, thrown in the little cranberries, and then have some berries. You?
That sounds great. The snacks I've been eating recently, I wouldn't say they're necessarily my favorites, but what I've been eating recently, yogurt and baby bell cheese, turkey slices, and like some sort of like RX bar.
Wait, you eat deli meat? I'm surprised.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, it's like such an easy way for me to get protein.
What about the nitrites, nitrates, the processed meat?
I don't think about that really.
Again, when what would you say earlier?
When appropriate.
When appropriate. Like when you're pregnant, you better not be eating deli meat, right? I think
If
that's
you heat it up, you can heat it up.
oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah. I remember doing that for Aaron on the trip.
All right, that was another fun one. Thank you everyone so much for listening. You know the drill. Try us out, please. Try getting a personal trainer. You have 2 weeks free, no obligation. Just try it. They'll set you up with a great plan. Even if you're only here for 2 weeks, they'll give you a great plan.
Talk to you next time, listeners. Bye bye.